evening, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Adrian Payne, and I had my first book published in 2017, Life on the Great Northern Peninsula, which is a biography of my life anyway, and most people's lives at that time, because things were way different then, with no roads, and we're sort of isolated. And I guess right now everybody's kind of getting cabin fever with COVID-19 virus, and people are on singing songs and playing the guitar, and there's also authors on there talking about their stories in their books they wrote. So I guess this is what I'm going to do today. Just give you a little road. I've only published one book so far, but Flanker Press is due to publish another one this summer. But everything, I don't know, is on hold or what because of this virus, and we'll have to wait and see. So I'm also publishing a book of poems, and I'm really interested in getting that done, self-publishing those. So, but today I'm going to talk about this book, and you can reach me at ajpayne@bellalliant.net if you want a book, or you can get my book through Flanker Press, of course. Excuse me. Today I'm going to talk about this book and some of the stories. One of the stories in there that a lot of people really appreciated, and I got a lot of calls all over the country from it. It's called A Horse Named Dick, and it's sort of a sad ending to what happened, but I won't go any further with that one. I'll just, if you want the book, you can buy it and read it, and but I've had some great comments, like I said. Today I'll talk a little bit about a story that actually back when I grew up in the late 40s and 50s, people, they had to be self-sufficient, and especially in meats and things for their own use. So, of course, hunting was a big part of our lives, and every season was a big part of our lives. But we hunted rabbits, moose, and caribou. And today, this is a story about walking from home here in Cowhead into the Longways Mountain, which is about 12 or 15 miles, to hunt moose in the late fall and November. And we went to a place called the Rock Cut, and there was a pond inside, but the Rock Cut was two big cliffs, one on each side. It was about 50 feet wide, and the brook was always open there. So we went in there, and we couldn't get into the brook, of course. We had looked up and we said, well, we'll walk up the cliff and around the side, but there was a big lot of ice accumulated up in the cliff as well. So we got up there about 200 feet, and we had to chop steps to get inside and into bottom pond, as we call it, that ran right up into the Longways Mountains. And there was a pocket in there called God's Pocket. And if you went in there and there was a moose there, well, they couldn't very well get clear of you. It was sort of a round pocket, and they either had to come into there. They couldn't get on the mountains that way. So me and my brother-in-law stayed out at the end of the river where it flows out through the Rock Cut, and two men went in, and my dog Spot, of course. This is a story called My Faithful Companion. And my dog Spot, he chased the two men in there, and we heard some shots, and of course we thought they might have moose, and we seen this we thought was a fox coming out the bottom pond, and just a ball of fur past us out at the mouth of the river. And this was my dog, and I didn't know what to think. I guess he was gun shy or whatever. Anyway, I'll go into a bit of the story now that I decided I'd read for you. Reading is not one of my better accomplishments, really, but you know, I'll give it a shot anyway. And we had to chop steps to get around this cliff. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but and I had a rope tied on me. I went ahead, of course, being young. This was 1957, and I was 17 years old. And we got around there okay with the steps chopped and tied a rope on small trees on each side of this icy cliff. So on our way back, you know, it was going to be really tricky getting around there with about 75 or 80 pounds of meat in our packs. So I'll just begin when we got back to anyway. My dog turned up after a while. he didn't get lost and didn't go home. So I was really proud of that because I love the dog so much. Coming back around the face of this cliff was a bit tricky. Now that we had some extra pounds in our packs, I took hold off the rope as I started across the icy patch. I slipped, but the rope saved me from certain death as I leaned back into the icy cliff. Now we were up 200 feet in the cliff. My cat fell off my head when I went back into the cliff and went rolling down into the swirling icy water out into the brook. My dog Spot, he took off down the side of the cliff, and I saw him. He jumped into the water. Spot jumped into the water as it tumbled into the water. He jumped in after it. I immediately thought that not only have I lost my cat, but I've also lost my dog because of the strong tide and the ice in the brook. He would surely be swept under the ice. I would never see him again. The ice in the river would surely suck him under. We had seen this happen to a moose one time and tried to swim the river and got sucked under the ice with the tide. We never saw the moose again. We made it across the icy patch and down the hill, and with no further incidents. But I had a very heavy heart. I could only imagine how going home with my best friend was. Going on with my best friend. I was just 17, and being with older men, I was holding back tears. I would have jumped in the river after him if I would have been near him. I just hoped that somehow he would make it. We would be united again. It would be a long, sad walk home for me. Having just lost my best friend a young man could ever have, to make things worse, I had lost my cat as well, and it was a very cold day. After making my way down the hill on into the trail for about 20 minutes, who should we see coming back up the trail was my faithful companion and friend, Spot. He had my cat in his mouth. I just grabbed him and hugged him so hard. My memory brings tears to my eyes even as I write this today. We will be together for the next 3 or 4 years and had many more memorable times together. Thank you, folks, and if you want to give me some feedback, as I said, my email address is ajpayne@bellaliant.net. You can also get this book at Flanker Press. I don't know if I mentioned that, but anyway, I have a few copies on hand, but we try to keep each other sane while this virus is going on. Hopefully it'll be gone sooner or later, and thank you very much for listening. I appreciate it.